They are
Now
getting
those,
it from the,
I understand,
from the Qur'an.
but those third parties are not here.
Good.
I can tell you there's no such thing.
Right.
What you have just said, no, it isn't.
You mean there is nothing in
Not like- not the way
there's
you
nothing
are-
in the Islamic religion
not the way you are saying
that
it,
can
no.
be interpreted like that?
No. You see, at the end of the day, like anything else, yes, we have got, and I'm familiar with the system, that's why I'm talking about it in that context. You see, we have got people here who, when they get into trouble, the first thing they do is make a telephone call to whom? To a lawyer. Why do they do that?
Because they're rich.
apart from being, you're right there, apart from being rich, the idea is that they will know the law better to the extent that they may be able to assist you. Okay?
Very, very unlikely. In my experience of lawyers,
Very unlikely. No.
they'll certainly take your money, but they won't. They won't assist
You have been going to the wrong ones. Okay?
I haven't found the right one yet.
But basically what happens here is this. As the system, you got the lawyers. Now, Islam is a complete system. I always say, as I was telling Brother Ismail here, I don't think I said it to you, to somebody else. I do not subscribe to the word religion. Okay? Islam is a system. That system encompasses every mode of correlation with human beings and society. Yeah? So it has a legal system. Yeah? You can call it a moral system. It has got everything, is comprehensive. Now when you say to me, is that the same one? I'm saying no, actually Islam doesn't say that at all. However, if you are going to ask me, we live in this society right now. Yeah? Our comfort right now is entirely based on our armed forces. We don't know it, but it is. The armed forces are at the ever ready. Okay? If suddenly somebody, an aircraft comes into UK airspace and it has not sought permission to enter UK airspace,
It's the same in America.
absolutely any country,
Then how
if I can just finish it,
the
brother,
Twin Towers?
if I can just finish, within a few minutes you will have aircraft that are going to go to intercept. Why are they doing all this? It's for us. The armed forces are working silently on our behalf. We don't know it. We have this right to question the validity of those aircraft because somebody is protecting us. Yeah, I'm talking about the armed forces. Yeah. Now, people may disagree with what I'm saying, okay, but at the end of the day, that is the reality. The armed forces are protecting the country from any external. If I can just finish.
The analogy is so far removed.
No,
from
it
what we were
isn't. Not
talking
at all.
about.
Not at all. As I was saying, yeah. You see,
I'm losing contact. With
you are. I'll bring you back.
the
Don't worry.
question.
I'll bring you back. Yeah. You see, now, if you were to ask a state which is governed by Islam, you said the caliphate. Yeah. If you have a state governed by Islam, do you think, according to your logic, do you think it will have the absolute right to protect its borders?
Well, what's an absolute right? I mean, if it's
An inalienable right. How about that?
well, if it's a recognised state,
Yes.
presumably yes. I mean,
When you say presumably yes, shouldn't it be a definite yes?
I don't know enough about international law to be able
Not to worry, not to
able
worry.
to answer the question.
Not to worry. Actually, while you are on that point of about international law, yes, the first one to have formulated some kind of primitive international law was Hugo Grotius in Europe. Prior to that, the Muslims had already developed quite a substantial amount of international law to interact with other states. Now, the point here is this. If there was a state, a recognized state, would it have an inalienable right to defend its borders?
No.
I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you this then. That's why I use the example. Would the United Kingdom have a right to protect the borders if somebody were to try and invade?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
Why the distinction between the two?
Because it's probably because I'm more used to living in the United Kingdom.
Or is it
so
possibly because of
I'm-
bias?
Probably as well.
It is,
Yeah,
yes.
But it's just that when you said a state, I mean, I started thinking about things like Islamic State, which calls itself a state,
Yeah,
and
but
which
yes.
might decide that it has certain borders.
Yes.
And would that have an
No,
inalienable right to defend its borders?
absolutely
I
no.
don't
You
think
see,
it would.
but there's a difference here. As I said to you, you asked about which system.
Yeah.
I told you I was talking about the Quran, and then you asked me that question. In that context, I'm telling you, look, you must look at it on a practical, from a practical perspective. I know that if any potential army were to decide to attack the United Kingdom, the armed forces would retaliate. The question therefore then is asked, when as an example, because history is there, when the Allied forces attacked Germany and its allies, did they go with the intention to kill or not to kill?
Well, yes.
What's yes? Which one?
Kill.
Why? Why?
Well, because ultimately because they wanted to defeat Germany. And the way they thought they would be able.
Is it not because Germany invaded other sovereign states?
Yes. Well, they thought that if they failed to defeat Germany, that Germany would defeat the rest of the world.
Right. Okay.
Especially us.
Yeah, but maybe it would have been a better world.
Well, I doubt it in this particular example. You've chosen.
Sorry, Ismail. You see, you are absolutely right. But
there is a theoretical possibility.
Absolutely. Yeah, we may be wrong. But that is all based on the facts that we were fed.
But
this is our understanding is based on the facts that we were fed.
The fact that we were fed.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, the same thing is happening when you talk about Islam. Facts are fed, and people are formulating their opinions based on that. Now, the country issue, I said, even in the United Kingdom, we would do anything to protect the borders. We've got the armed forces. Now, there is no way any message from a creator where it would tell you to deal with people unjustly for the sake of being unjust. No.
But that's what you believe.
It's not about belief. It's about how you would assess something that.
Brother, because I think the gentleman's question initially was about to do with murdering and stuff like this. And in the Quran, where it says, if you catch or find the disbelievers.
No, that's what he said. But he said about the Islamic State. No, it isn't. I already said that.
So
no.
But I've read the Quran many years ago.
Yes.
But I do remember coming across something where it says, where you find them, kill them.
I
remember that.
Okay.
So,
and in what context was that given?
This was about, obviously, I don't know whether it was after the war of Ubad or
well,
whatever.
Right, if it was a battle, I just asked that question with the idea, yes? If you are going with an intent to kill, yes? That's what we asked earlier on.
Okay.
You see, in any place, if a community is under attack, does it have a right to defend itself? If it is going to defend itself to the extent where you have to kill the other person, is that wrong?
So what?
I think if it's along the same lines.
Along the same lines,
no,
it isn't wrong.
So
now, you see, however,
if I understand what you're saying, what it says in the Islamic religion is that
I don't use the word religion. I don't subscribe to it.
What the people who use this
in Islam,
argument say, what you're saying is that there is something in Islam that says it's okay to kill people in the context of war or in the context of defending your borders. Is that right?
No. If you are absolutely right. You see, and that is why I said very clearly, you must have reality to it. Okay, there's a certain section. I did ask that. I said, if we are told, with what intent did we go? To kill? Why? Because presumably it may have been X, Y, and Z. Now, Islam is a system, and a system, by definition, will include legal, moral, governmental, military, all of them. Now, the question is, what is the military for? The armed forces, what are they for? We call them the armed forces. Why do we call them the armed forces? Because they're armed. Why are they armed?
To kill people.
No. You're right, but why are they armed? We know why they're armed, because they are on the ever ready. Yes, these aircraft, you know, the RAF, it takes them 120 seconds in which they must be in the aircraft ready to take off if there is a potential danger appearing. Why? It is to protect the country. Now,
it isn't really though, is it?
If I can just finish, yes, sure, Ismail. The question is, if you don't have the armed forces, as I'm sure you will hear in the news, how much they are complaining about the defense cuts that are taking place. So yes, in Islam also there is a system and it allows it.
Stop talking about the armed forces and just stick to the question about Islam and the whether or not there is something in the religion that tells people to kill infidels.
Again, you see, you have just repeated what I said I don't agree with, but you haven't seen it because that is your intention. I said to you, it's not a religion, I don't subscribe to that word. Did I not say that?
You did, yes.
I did. So Islam,
But
and
you can talk about
if I can just finish, I qualified it and I
subscribe to, you can talk
I
about it.
qualified it that Islam is a system, military, political, etc. Now, I also said to you that look, if there is a military and there is a battle, and the only way to stop the enemy is to kill, you are given that permission.
Right.
Yes. Now the question, I preempted that by asking, when we attacked, when the Allied forces attacked Germany, they had a clear goal. Eliminate the enemy if the need arises. We don't find it a problem, do we?
I've got to interject because
You're allowed to interject,
cool,
of course.
Because there's too much simplification going on here. It's like
Is there?
Yeah, because
Go
the
on,
terminology of we for a start.
Yeah.
It's not we. It's them.
Who is them?
Well, who's we? When
I'll tell
say,
you who is we.
When you say we,
We.
the Allies.
I'll tell you, the Allied forces.
Yeah, but-
That's the United Kingdom, America.
Yeah, but you said we as if
I did,
you're
yeah.
a part of it.
I'm in the United Kingdom.
But that
I'm a
doesn't-
part of the
but
United
that
Kingdom.
That doesn't mean you adhere to
Oh,
what
right.
they do.
Okay, if we go into semantics, I can agree with you. However,
but they're important.
the point, okay, let me ask you, Ismail,
Yeah.
and this is on a personal, individual level. If somebody came into your house, breaks the door down, and is going to attack family
You're talking
members.
about the police, yeah?
No, I'm not talking about the police. I would have said the police. But if we were to say that people came in and started physically attacking, would you defend yourself?
Of course, man.
Why?
Of course. Well, because I just would, because I don't want
Why?
no one doing what they should have
Okay,
the right to do to
excellent.
me.
Now on an individual level, you can do that. On a collective level, who makes sure that we are defended against any
but
criminality?
it-
If you can just answer my logic.
Who makes sure? They
Who?
do.
On a,
The
no, on a
government
collective.
and the armed forces
The-
and all the rest of it.
No, on a local level, you have the police.
Okay.
Yeah? On a national level, you have the armed forces. Now, you must understand, as a result of hundreds, if not thousands of years, we have arrived at where we are. Yes? The armed forces are an integral and vital part of a collective society.
A satanic collective society.
That is a matter of opinion.
No, brother, listen. There is never going to be a time, ever, where when we take up arms against each other that we're going to get the correct result. It's never going to happen.
You see, I can agree with the result.
And can I just say
Sorry,
something
sorry,
else?
yeah, sure.
And as long as so much effort is placed into educating people that you are a physical body, and that this is you, your
Yeah.
total,
Yeah.
people are going to fall for it.
Yeah.
When people start moving into the awareness of
Yeah.
what they truly are in a spiritual
Yeah.
nature and begin to disconnect from the identity of physicality, we're going to be saying, what are these wars about? What are these so-called borders about? Why do I need borders? Why do I need nationalities
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff? Because it's all bullshit. bro.
You see,
bullshit. It's a lie.
I agree with you to a certain extent. Look, for example, the European travel area, the common travel area, yes, is part of the European Union, okay? The European Union is a collective group of countries, yes, who have decided to act as one.
No.
If
no,
I
no, brother.
if I can just finish.
It's a collective group of people that are on planet Earth who have decided we are going to carve up this land and control it under our laws, and you are going to obey whether you like it or not.
Right,
And the same
excellent.
goes on in every different country that
Okay,
we call.
that's
we are
fine.
on one planet.
That's fine, not a problem. However,
It is a problem, bro, because as long as you continue to talk about it being a problem and not actually addressing the fact that, you know what, yeah, that is right.
no, I agree with you, but what I am saying is, look, there's a common travel area, okay? The reason was to dispose of the borders, number one. And that's what's happened. You can travel freely, yes?
But now all that's happened is you're in a bigger prison.
If I can finish, yeah? Because we have a common travel area, there was also a move towards having an international law of contract, okay?
Yeah.
Now, basically, the suggestion here is that if we can all have one collective, yes, understanding, then everything is fine. Now, from the Islamic
That's
perspective,
New World Order.
no, but from the Islamic perspective, that is what is said. You know, when you say no borders, the caliphate, yeah, all these are emotive words being used in a context, okay? But if you look at it on a reasonable footing, you will find you are being told that, look, when you come under the flag of a creator, okay, that is, it's not dependent on human beings, yes? It is an external source, okay? You are being told what is for the benefit of human beings,
But who's telling
what,
you?
if I can just, what is not of benefit to human beings, that is what we have to address, and we have to logically address it.
But who's
If I
telling
can
you
just
that,
finish.
brother? Who's telling
No,
you
but
this?
here is what I'm trying to tell you. You see, as a human being, whatever you say, whatever we say, we've got to agree that we are being governed by a state. We might not like it, okay? We might not like certain things about the state, but the fact is, our very security is entirely based on how they have been running it.
Maybe you're being governed by a state of mind. Because listen, I am unto myself. You know, I work like this. I've got no right to harm you, man. No right to take anything
Agreed.
from you. But I can listen, I can debate,
Agreed.
I can lose my, lose my top and everything.
Agreed, but suppose I were to forcefully come into your house.
We've been there, and I would.
No,
protect,
I'm
I
asking
would
you,
protect.
why?
Because I'm enjoying my experience. I don't really enjoy the experience of being ruled over.
But
in any way, shape,
can I
or
not
form.
come and tell you, look, my understanding is better than yours, so I'm entitled to it.
You can
But
say
can I do
whatever-
it then?
You can't do it. You
Why?
can't force it.
Why
because
not?
I won't allow it. And
Why
I
not?
because I won't succumb to your way of thinking.
But suppose I was more powerful than you,
What's the worst thing that can happen? I could lose the experience of this body.
and you are prepared to do that.
Of course.
Right, there you are.
Of course.
So
We're gonna go anyway.
Absolutely, agreed. So you see, we all are agreeing to one thing, that if the need arises, we will fight to the death.
Okay. The need is
That's the
already
ultimate
here, bro. The
experience.
need is already here, and I haven't taken up arms. Yet I know that they're brutalising people across the globe and on this planet and in this country.
Yeah.
Right? We are all being shafted. Understand? We are all being shafted by a group that has been running this show for a few thousand years.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been since.
So what is your alternative?
Good question. The alternative is this. It's really simple, but it's the hardest thing in the world. Don't pay your taxes,
Yeah,
right? Do not vote.
yeah.
Yeah. Understand that the essence that we have is enough law to govern and to make this world a peaceful planet.
Right.
Feed everyone,
Yeah.
shelter everyone.
Okay.
Everything's free, and no one has to be a slave. anymore.
Okay,
Simple.
okay, Ismail.
If you're not paying your tax.
Exactly.
And
How do you feed
how do you
everyone if
think?
you're not
How
paying
do
your
you
tax?
think? How do you think people from ancient civilizations existed without taxes?
They just went and robbed another one and came back.
Come on.
That's what they did.
Tax is a man-made thing.
No,
We was
no, no.
not born into a
I
planet
would
that is a
respectfully,
natural
no,
order of tax.
Ismail,
It's a
I would
man-made
respectfully
thing, bro.
disagree with you. You see, at this point in time, can I honestly ask you, you don't pay your taxes?
No.
Do you work?
Yeah, of course I work.
You work?
Yeah, you don't.
Eh,
No, turn that off, bro.
You,
I'm serious,
Ismail,
bro.
you work.
Yeah, you damn right I work.
So do you pay NI?
A what?
NI?
No.
PAYE?
No.
You don't do it?
No.
That's a criminal
I get-
offense.
So?
You don't
It's a
mind?
criminal offence. I'll tell you what a criminal offence is. That they take my money
Yeah.
and they spend the money of my taxes and your not my tax, your tax, and they go and buy bombs to go and blow people up. That's criminal.
Right. So you
That's criminal.
so you are disagreeing with where some of it is being used.
I'm disagreeing with the fact that they think
No,
they've
no.
got the right.
You tell me,
to
Ismail.
tell me what
Are
I
you
gotta do.
disagreeing with the
Yes.
principle of
Yes.
taxes, or are you disagreeing with where they are spending the taxes?
I'm disagreeing with the fact that number one, they don't ask me anything about this kind of situation. Then I'm disagreeing in what they spend the money
Well,
on.
if you think about it, Ismail, you are being very unreasonable. If you think,
brother,
let me
brother,
just finish.
I'm not being
Let me finish.
unreasonable.
I'll tell you why you are.
on.
We are approximately 56 million people in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Okay? Are you expecting the government to ask 56 million people every time they have to make a decision?
Do I ask the government for payouts when I'm unemployed? No. Do I ask them for benefits? No.
Do they give them?
They probably no. Actually,
Not probably, they
don't.
do.
No, brother,
They do.
I'll tell you the truth.
Yes.
They have stopped paying me what was it called back then? Supplementary benefit I used
Yeah.
to get. £30 every 2 weeks. They stopped paying me that years ago
Why?
because I never paid enough NI and I never paid enough tax and I'm not on their records. And I say, good, I don't want your business.
Yeah, but if everybody, Ismail, if everybody did what you did,
Yeah.
as the brother pointed out,
We'd all be free from it.
not free, we would have a
Brother,
tyrannical
you see how
state.
this man come up and and offered me a cup of coffee?
Yes,
Right?
he's my
You see how
master.
simple. You see how
Yeah.
simple that is. Well, in the same way, if we was all to do that, if we was all to have that up there and in there, we wouldn't need.
Well,
listen,
we can
anybody
only hope-
who believes that we need mammon or money to have this so-called civilized society
Yes.
continue,
Yeah.
civilized, right? They're fools. You're all fools.
You're all
And I like you, but if you believe, and if you believe,
Do you take advantage of the health service?
no. How is that? How?
So, I mean, if you became ill,
Actually,
If I become ill, listen,
Actually,
I've been ill
the-
many times. I don't take the
actually,
pharmaceutical
brother,
drugs.
the
I don't know.
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
trust them.
The
I
fact
go
that he's
full
wearing
panic.
glasses gives it away.
Listen, man, there are remedies out there, ancient remedies
It gives it away.
that are cures so many things. Where do I get them? My wife gives me these. But they're only a £10 pair of glasses, bro. They're £10.
where did the £10 come from?
Are we going to get to the fact that whatever it is I have on my body is saying that I'm a hypocrite to what I'm saying? Then so be it. Then I'm a hypocrite. But I'm telling you, anyone who believes in a monetary system or the monetary system that we have now, you're fools. Listen, there's alternative money systems out there. We used to do bartering. There's bitcoins. There's all this stuff. Do you know about the Federal Reserve?
Yes,
Do you know that they don't answer to anyone?
yes.
They're
They're a limited company, yes.
A limited company.
Yes, they are.
Yet their money is what's forcing people on the streets, homelessness, starvation. Their money.
So
It's a
what?
man-made
Right.
thing,
Okay,
bro.
agreed. But if that is the case, then you have to have reasonable avenues in which to fight it. Certainly not relying on weed.
I do. Relying on weed for what? Who relies on weed for
Because
anything?
I mean,
I don't rely on meat. Like,
no, I mean if we go into
You
it,
rely on me.
no,
Otherwise you won't exist
I agree.
apparently.
But the point is, even the Federal Reserve,
Yeah.
we know that the whole of the United States is indebted to the Federal Reserve to the extent that they're actually technically bankrupt. The United States.
Well, of course. Of
Pleasure.
course.
Look after yourself.
Because there's no
Yeah?
such thing. Look, when people talk of the United States,
If
of
I can just
America,
finish,
it's
you
a
see,
business.
but at the end of the day, Ismail, I would suggest one thing. You will need an external criteria, otherwise your battle is going to be a long
We've
one.
got external criteria. We've got external criteria. We've got answers. We've got
No,
solutions.
we don't. We don't.
No, brother.
We don't.
Brother, why are you saying we don't?
I'll tell you why.
Go on.
I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Do we know absolutely everything there is to know about weed?
About what?
Weed.
Weed. Okay. Yes. The stuff you smoke. Do we know everything? I think we know enough about it.
No, I didn't ask you that. Do we know everything?
Yeah, we do. We do. People know everything there is to know about weed. The THC content, what's inside, what it does.
No.
Enough people know about it.
I know they don't.
You might not.
I
but
know.
weed smokers out there know what their shit is.
But here's the problem. You have got a reason for why you want to say yes.
To say yes to.
Yeah, you are biased because you use it.
No, but I don't tell you to smoke.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not
tell
saying you
to
tell
smoke.
me.
Do I?
Listen, the whole point about a bias is he's biased, you're biased, everyone's biased. The whole point, bias is merely a rude word for opinion. People have different views. And to use the word bias.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
using words like bias is cheap.
Yeah,
See,
I agree
see,
with that.
I agree with him. That is why you are going to agree with me. You need an external source.
No, you
No.
want from
See,
God.
No,
you
I
don't
used
agree
to
with me.
think-
See?
No, brother, because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I think that you know anything about you. It's
No,
just
no,
my
of course.
belief.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
believe that
You
there's
are
a guy
entitled to that.
sitting up there who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh, or whatever alternative.
You do not believe.
Story. I don't believe
That's
that.
fine.
But I do believe that you've been misled in your interpretations of creation theories and all this kind of thing.
Right.
I think you've been totally
now
duped
at the end of the
personally.
day,
Can I ask you something? Is God
yeah,
good?
if I can just finish. You see, you are absolutely right. However, what you are saying to me requires assessing evidence.
There is evidence.
Yeah, but-
There's
Yeah.
evidence all over the planet.
Right. Well, if that is the case, then we may need to assess the evidence that you claim
but the
is
we,
available.
The we
Yeah.
that I refer
we,
to
me and
earlier
you.
on, okay, me and you is
and you,
different.
yeah.
But the other we, the ones that organise the education and everything,
Yeah.
have already done the job for you.
Yeah.
They took the shaman out of Africa. They took the shaman out of Australia. They took the shaman out of South America and North America. They took all the history from all these places that were telling us about what was going on, and they replaced it with the Eurocentric idea of
Possibly,
what the world was.
possibly,
Not
Euro,
possibly, bro.
possibly.
Not possibly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely. No, I'm serious.
A pleasure
brother.
meeting you, brother.
Don't go now. Now we're
No,
getting
I'm not
to the
going.
point. Okay.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm saying it's a pleasure meeting you.
The evidence is all over, man.
About religion? Because you were talking about, he was talking about spirituality and the ideas about the Genesis, what's in the Bible. Are you a Muslim or a Christian or whatever?
No, he wasn't talking about Genesis and the Bible.
No. What worries me a bit is anyone who's certain about anything.
Sorry?
Is anyone who's certain about anything is actually misinformed. There are so many factors in every argument.
Are you certain about that?
That's a very clever question. I am certain, yes.
Thank you.
Because
You've
I
answered
know-
your own question. Sorry.
I have not answered the question.
Well, you
I'm
just
saying-
said that anybody who is certain is
That's like-
uncertain. So are you certain about that?
Does that mean anyone who believes in doubt? There's no doubt. Everything is certain.
Yeah.
Everything is certain. What is certain? Tell me what is
You,
certain.
you see, I will tell you something. I don't use the word believe. I don't use it. It's an uncomfortable word,
right.
and it has connotations which are different to what your mind is saying and what my mind is saying. However, if we look at what we are discussing here, because you've just entered the discussion, what we were talking about are many aspects of probably the same subject matter.
Well, that's
okay.
wonderful. You're
Now,
talking about different aspects, the same subject matter. What are you talking about?
sir, I know. I'm just going to give you a gentle reminder. Have you completed your PhD?
Have I? No.
Have you completed it?
Merely got a degree from Oxford.
Not yet. The
No.
PhD in history. Completed?
I got another PhD in history.
Right,
I
okay.
got a good degree in
Fine,
history.
fine. Okay. Well, basically, you know what you are saying about you don't believe that there's a whatever. My view is simple.
I don't believe that the God theory that has been put forward. I'm not saying I don't believe that there is an energy and a consciousness.
Right,
But I
okay.
don't believe in he sits up there looking down, judging.
Yeah, well, I can agree with that as well. Okay, but the question is this, that when you talk about an existence, a consciousness, the next question I would logically ask is, do you think, according to your understanding, this consciousness has intelligence behind it?
Yeah, definitely.
It does.
Yeah,
If it has got
and it's in all of us.
right, if it has got intelligence, naturally and logically speaking, that intelligence will, by definition, surpass the intelligence of the created entity.
Oh, hang on. Will surpass the evidence of creative identities. Wow, what's that?
Created
supposed to mean?
entities.
Yeah, break that down
I.e.,
to me.
you,
straight-
me, and every other human being.
Yeah.
The creator that you are talking about, that is full of energy and consciousness, according to your understanding, by definition, will be superior to what that consciousness has created. Yes.
Superior.
Yes.
If you're looking at it, that
No,
it's
no,
a
I'm asking you.
Right. If you're looking at it that it's a physical thing, a physical body, right? I'm not dealing on that level. Consciousness is beyond physicality.
I haven't even said physically. I'm just asking you: is that creator, that entity, is it superior to the
superior?
entities that were created? Yes.
We don't know.
No,
Agreed.
I know the question. This is my answer is this, and I guess it ain't really much of an answer for you. But
How do you know?
If we're saying like the water was in this bottle, and if I do that drop and that drop came from the same source, right? So they've got the same potency, right? They're water, they're aqua. You get me? And it's the same way as we. We look at ourselves as divided because our eyes and our brain and all that divides things. It looks at objects. It looks at things that it can only perceive in its realm of light. We see and perceive only 8% of our brain. 8%. So everything else that is going on around us, we are blind to.
Okay.
Now we can't see the minutest atoms buzzing around the nucleus on everything.
Protons, electrons.
Right, protons, electrons. We can't see that, but we know it's happening, and we know that. And each atom is an empty space, 99.9 empty space, and even the nucleus of the atom is empty space. So what the hell makes physical real? Your brain. Your brain interprets and decodes everything that's going on around
Hold
you
it, no,
and
that-
makes form.
What is that tree?
None of
real?
it's a reality that
Is
you
that
can
tree-
believe in.
Hold it. That tree
Okay.
is real.
Now,
No, it's
now,
real on this. With
Ismail.
what you have and what I have, it's real. It looks real, but the reality of it is that is not what you're seeing.
Ismail,
That's the reality.
Ismail.
No,
Ismail,
I know
Ismail.
it looks real. Don't
brother,
get me wrong.
what
Disney
was,
looks
brother, what was my question?
real. About you're saying did the creator have, or would it be far superior to what he has created?
Yes.
Yeah. And my answer
Yes
is
or no?
No. My answer was the answer. My answer is this: if you are in essence a part of, if you want to put it in them terms, the creator, right? If you want to say that, that's
It's
fine.
not if I want to say it. Here is a
Why don't you
problem.
say createss?
I'll tell you.
Why don't you
I'll
say
tell you.
createss?
I said the intelligence force.
Okay,
Yeah. This intelligence force.
Yes.
Yes. Does it have any connection with us?
Of course. It is everything.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
omnipresent.
According to you, is this intelligent force far superior to you as an individual?
As an individual, as an egotistical individual, I am so unaware of my greatness. Does that answer your question?
So you are saying yes.
I'm saying that it and me are connected in ways that's far
Excellent.
out,
Agreed.
beyond your
now,
mind.
how, apart from your subjectivity, how can I establish your proposition
How can you establish my proposition
Yes.
to do what?
about this connection you have?
Well, you do what everyone else does. You investigate.
What
you
is
come
that?
to your own. You do it
Now,
for
I have
yourself.
investigated.
This is what I'm saying. Sorry to interrupt,
Yeah,
but
sure.
this is why taking authority from something outside of yourself is always going to be a problem in my books. Because if you're relying on someone else's stuff to give you all the stuff you need to understand what you're dealing
Yeah.
with, you're dealing with someone else's. You got to be your own truth.
Well, honest-
you got to find your own truth.
Well,
because it's there.
actually, I can agree with you, but Ismail, your understanding that you've arrived at, because you, if I can finish.
I'm unfolding. I'm not
no,
arrived
if I can
anywhere.
finish.
There's no
you,
arrival place.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, you had mentioned the Mahabharata. You had mentioned Krishna and Arjun. You had mentioned Rumi. Yeah, you had mentioned Hafiz.
Yeah, these are just people.
Okay.
Yeah, just bodies. Yeah.
But you told me that you had read some of their stuff.
Of course.
Well, if you had read some of their stuff, they have affected the way you think.
Most definitely.
So it was third-party
Most definitely.
sources.
But then again, can't
Yeah.
it be that
Now-
can't it be that you read things and you resonate with what you're reading?
Now there you are.
Can't you do that?
Yes. Now,
So I did.
now I am saying to you that look, if one does that, yes, and one wants a total understanding of things, yes, then my position is simple. Taking subjectivity is not going to be able to answer 3/4 of the questions, because at the end of the day, I can think what I want to think. Okay.
Okay.
You can think what you want to think.
Okay.
However, in the context of having a source which can keep us both intact, it would necessarily need to be external.
Who
You
needs
see,
the source?
if I can just finish.
Okay, my brother.
Yeah, you see, no matter what you say, at the end of the day, if something happened to your household, you will call the emergency services. Yeah? Every human being does. You can suggest that we have been programmed to do that, which is no issue. I don't have an issue with that, because at the end of the day, if you are programmed and it is good programming, you shouldn't have a problem with that good programming. Yeah? Now, no problem. But when you talk about a source or an energy source, which neither you nor me can see or feel or touch, yeah, you resorted to atoms, yeah, they can be tested, their effects can be felt. Okay, you cannot necessarily see them, but you can feel their effects. Now, when you are talking about a source which you cannot, objectively make me understand about, then I'm dealing with your subjectivity, which is not a problem. Which is, if I can just finish.
I'm not dealing with that, brother. That is
Whatever you are dealing with is going to be a subjective
yeah,
assessment.
brother. Listen, I'm not
Can't do anything with that.
I'm not saying that this can contain the whole ocean. But
Can
I'm
it-
saying if it contains a piece of
Is
the
it-
ocean,
is it-
if it contains
yeah.
a piece of the ocean,
Yeah.
it is still the ocean, right?
Is it possible that this can contain the whole ocean?
No.
Why not?
No, because it just isn't large
Is
enough.
it limited?
It's limited.
Is your understanding
Right.
limited?
Of course.
So when you said
course
earlier
it is.
on that you can consider that your expanses in terms of this are equal to the creator, you were wrong.
No, not wrong.
So you are right now.
Because we've all got that spark, man. We've all got a spark within us.
Okay.
Right? But the agenda is to quash that spark.
By
The
whom?
Intelligence. By who? Illuminati.
Oh, right.
The
I see.
ruling elite. Whoever you want to call
Well,
them. I don't care what you
look
call
again,
them. They're there,
again, you are talking about areas which can only be considered to be speculative.
Why?
Number one, if I can just finish. Number two, there are many conspiracies on YouTube about the Illuminati, X, Y, and Z.
There's
No
conspiracies
problem,
all
no
over.
problem at
I
all.
agree.
I would rather we deal with reality.
Oh my gosh. You see, that's what happens when you're inside a box.
No
That's
problem.
what happens to you.
It-
You can't, you know, the
It's
word,
fine.
Harold, my brother.
Sorry.
You know, you take these words, conspiracy, and you're dishing out conspiracy.
I'm using the
Hold
word.
on, hold on. You're using it like the West uses the word Islam and Muslim.
Well, that's your opinion. Okay.
No, no, it's my experience.
Can I
Because
respond?
You can, but when, you know.
Oh,
when the
sorry,
brother's
I thought you had
right?
finished.
It's like, what I'm saying is, there are many conspiracy theories, but there are also many facts. Okay? Now, you may not choose to investigate the theories that eventually become a fact, but nonetheless they're there. Now, unless you're going to do that, you're never going to know, bro. All they're going to be is conspiracy theories, and anyone who has a conspiracy theory is going to be a nutter.
I agree.
Listen,
I
20
agree.
years ago, I was telling people about Cliff Richard and about Jimmy Savile, and I won't mention other names. I won't mention them because they're too big profiles, right? But I know what was going on.
Stop.
All right.
Stop, Ismail. If you are going to now suggest to me that you are privy to potential criminal action by certain individuals,
Yeah.
I would suggest you stop.
Why?
I would suggest you
Why?
stop. This is recording.
Yeah, but it's not
okay.
silly, right?
It can be.
But then you can delete
but,
it, right? You can
but
put technology
but
to
if you
edit.
are going to do that, then what I would suggest, don't be an aider and abettor in the crime.
Right.
Go and release the information to the police.
I did.
You did, and what? They didn't take any notice of you. Did they not take any
No, of
notice?
course
Okay,
not.
are you prepared to stand to your principles? No, that's on my handsome face. Don't worry.
Yeah, but
are you prepared to stand by your principles?
I did.
No, I'm asking. Are you right now?
Stand by my principles.
Yes.
Of which one?
Reporting this
I've done
alleged
it,
criminal.
bro. I've
No,
done
I'm
it.
asking you. Are you? Because I can make one telephone call to a newspaper, a national one, and
I've done
connect you with them.
bro,
Are you prepared
bro,
to do that?
Bro, listen.
Ismail,
Okay, am I prepared to do it? At this moment in time, no, I'm not prepared.
I knew you were going to say that.
Right, and do you know why I'm saying that?
No.
Right. Well,
I
if
don't
you
need to know. I'll tell
if
you
don't
why.
know what I'm
Because if
willing
you
to-
did it,
Yeah.
if you already reported it to the police and you are saying they didn't take any serious action,
yeah.
then there's something seriously wrong with the way you are narrating the issue.
Brother, do you not think there is something seriously wrong with the thousands of people that have come forward talking about sexual abuse that they've been suffering at the hands of politicians, at the hands of all these
You see, Ismail,
filmmakers?
no,
Hold
I,
on, bro. No,
I agree with you,
No,
but
no, you
I
don't.
I agree with you. But I said
You're
my
saying
principle.
you agree.
My
Hold
principle.
on.
No, my principle is a very clear one.
Okay.
It must be based on the evidence.
Whose evidence?
Whatever the
What
evidence is, not
what
whose,
evidence
whatever
can you
evidence
give?
it may
What
be.
evidence can a person give about sexual abuse
Right.
20 years down?
Well, here is the problem. That is possibly why the police didn't take any notice of what you had to say.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Unless you have got some.
You know, listen. With all due respect to you, all right?
Thank you.
Listen, you've got an experience of, I don't know how old you are, 48, 49, whatever it is, right? You've got your own life experiences and those things that at times maybe you could have brought forward and done things about. But when you're that high and you are being
Abused.
abused by people
Yes.
in such powerful positions,
Huh.
and not just their powerful positions, but with people that have magic. Understand what I'm saying to you? Magic.
What magic?
The kind of things that can be happening when you use certain rituals, right? Now you may not believe them, bro, but these people believe it, and they use this
Ismail,
stuff.
Ismail.
you're
Yeah,
not
I know.
listening.
You know. No.
You're not
I'm
listening.
interjecting
You're not
respectfully. I'm interjecting because you are moving from one subjective if I can finish, one subjective aspect to another. Now you have introduced the issue of magic, and I'm thinking, well, we've just gone from
You don't believe in magic?
no. We've gone from one thing to another. However, the point was a simple one. I asked you, are you prepared to stand by your principle? Because you sounded like one who likes standing with his principle.
Okay.
So I asked you in that context, look,
Okay.
I can make
shouldn't
a
have said this.
connection.
I shouldn't have said this, but right about now as we talk, right, I'm already in the process of doing this. Do you understand? It's not just me either. It's not just me.
Well,
You know
the
what I
best
mean?
of luck for
and
you.
the thing is, like I said to you, I mentioned a couple of names earlier, and the reason I mentioned those names,
Yeah. They were already in the
they're
public
already,
domain
they're already
anyway.
in the, now they are, but
Yeah.
they weren't 20 years ago. Do you
Fine.
understand what I'm saying?
Fine.
And
Well,
it's
whatever
the
it is,
protectors
you are
of those people.
the
It's
problem I find with
protectors
everything
of
you
those
are saying, Ismail, respectfully, is that everything seems to be having an element of secrecy behind it. I don't mind, it's up to you. But all I said to you is, look, if you think you have got serious, or rather you have made serious allegations against individuals, unnamed as yet, I said to you, no, I would look and consider the evidence, yeah? And you asked me what evidence, what kind would you like? Now, my view is that is possibly why the police did not take you seriously if this occurred.
Do you want to know why the police didn't take me seriously?
No.
You don't want to know?
No.
But then how can you
because
know
I want you to be concerned about the true potential.
Brother, do you not understand what I'm saying to you? Who do you think is in the controlling seat of all of this?
Okay, 1 minute, yeah.
You know, who do you think is in the controlling seats of this? Do you think that the police ain't involved with this? Oh, come on.
Again, it's all about evidence.
Well, then, you know what, bruv? If what you're waiting for is evidence, good luck with that wait. You're going to be waiting
Look
longer
after
than
yourself.
you do for a bloody
Pleasure.
bus on a Sunday.
Pleasure, Ismail. Look after yourself. God bless.